Hello, everybody. This is Christian coming to you from the Freshly Squeezed podcast, first ever recording. And I just want to jump right into it. We're going to be talking about Kawhi Leonard today. He's really the hot topic of free agency. He's the guy everyone's wanting to know about, the guy everyone's speculating about. Tons of news headlines going around. So let's get into why, essentially, I think he's going to re-sign with the Toronto Raptors. I think that's the most likely scenario. So over the last week or two, tons of headlines coming out. Kawhi Leonard is going to sign with the Lakers. That's what everybody was saying. That's what everybody was talking about. But most of those sources were unfounded. Every time you looked at it, it would be some random Lakers fan account. I don't think those were legitimate. But now you got in the last 24 hours a whirlwind of speculation coming around because Jalen Rose went on the jump this morning. He spoke about how 99% of what he's hearing is that Kawhi Leonard would come to the Toronto Raptors, potentially on a 2-year deal is what he was speculating, but who knows how long it would be. And so that's a pretty legitimate source, but at the end of the day, no one really knows what's going on in his mind. This morning later this evening, we had a helicopter, CP-24 helicopter following around, landed at the airport in the MLSE private jet, followed him around in the SUV until he got to the hotel where tons of fans were waiting for him. Supposedly he was meeting there with Bobby Webster and GM Bobby Webster and President Masai Ujiri. And who knows what he was doing in there. He could be signing a contract. He could be just giving them their last meeting of free agency. We already know he's met with the Lakers and met with the Clippers. That's where he came from on his private jet. He came from LAX, from the airport there. So who no one really knows, but it's looking good for the Toronto Raptors. We're coming fresh off a championship win that Kawhi and Masai Ujiri delivered to us. Let's not get it mixed up. Those are the two pieces that are most important to this championship, starting with Masai Ujiri. He has been so great for this franchise. He has turned it around. The past 5 years, he has been absolutely excellent. The balls at the start of the summer, the most clear trade, the biggest winner was trading the most beloved franchise player in franchise history, DeMar DeRozan, going all in, showing all his cards, picking up Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green, and in what was an absolute fleece. That was a fleece, Kawhi Leonard and Jakob Poeltl, who I loved Jakob Poeltl. DeMar and Jakob Poeltl. I loved Jakob Poeltl. I love DeMar DeRozan, but they are not Kawhi Leonard, and Jakob Poeltl is not Danny Green. We sacrificed the first round pick, but at the end of the day, Kawhi is what ended up bringing us a championship. But let's get into the reasons why I think he's going to stay. So, reason number one, the organizational excellence, honestly. What Masai Ujiri has done, being able to put the pieces around him to be successful. You've got moves like the Marc Gasol trade mid-year, trading for Jonas Valanciunas, trading Jonas Valanciunas, DeLon Wright, CJ Miles, three beloved Raptors guys. JV had such a long tenure here, getting better every year, really showing signs of improvement. And this year they put him on the bench role earlier in the year. They stuck him on a bench behind him, and Ibaka were rotating out in center. Great move by Nick Nurse, by the way. But he was looking like he was coming into his own, and then finally this move happened, and we included DeLon Wright in the trade. He was kind of stagnating when we got rid of him. He was less an important piece for us. We knew what Fred VanVleet brought to the table, and with Lowry and VanVleet, we really couldn't go wrong. That third string point guard may come in handy when there's injuries, but for the most part, we were pretty safe trading away DeLon at that point, I thought. And CJ Miles last year, he did really well for us, but this past season he was really struggling hard. He couldn't hit a bucket. He was honestly brick central station. It was terrible to watch. So getting rid of him, I think everything is nice in hindsight. That trade kind of scared me a little bit because I didn't know what we were getting in Marcus Gasol. Absolutely big body presence down in the paint, a massive individual, uses his body great on defense, incredible passer, can make the occasional post move, and he was vital to our success in the playoffs, honestly. So making that trade in the middle of the year, incredibly ballsy. I think just as ballsy as the Kawhi pickup, and so that it's Masai Ujiri. Big credit to him, and I think showing Kawhi that we're willing to do, getting rid of those big key players for us, picking up a guy like Gasol, that's shows signs for him that we're gonna make this a winning team while he sticks around. It'll put the most immense amount of confidence in him that we're going to be able to compete every single year he comes ready to play for this team. Reason number 2, let's talk about Director of Sports Science Alex McKechnie. He was incredible this year. Load management was something that was a big complaint for people around the league, but at the end of the day, it worked. Kawhi Leonard missed, I think it was it 20 games or 22 games with us this year, and he showed up ready to play in playoffs. He was healthy going into playoffs. He sustained a couple injuries mid-playoffs, but at the end of the day, he came in as healthy as possible. And playoffs is when you are ready to put it all on the line. When you come into playoffs injured is when it becomes a little questionable, right? Because you're already starting a little bit behind the 8 ball when you start to get those hard bumps and bruises during the playoff run. So Alex McKechnie, Sports Science, it was absolutely incredible what he did for us. And I think just the trust, again, that instills in Kawhi Leonard. And the main thing is, who's not to say that the Los Angeles Lakers and Los Angeles Clippers aren't going to be able to provide those same things to Kawhi Leonard. They made the trade for Anthony Davis over there in Lake Show. The Clippers, they have a good, solid young team around them, re-signing Patrick Beverley. They got Lou Will, 6th Man of the Year. Big time names like Montrezl Harrell. That's a world-class organization as well, the Los Angeles Clippers. You got Jerry West at the helm there, so he's able to make big moves and put the pieces around Kawhi. But they're all kind of maybes. Toronto has it right now. Toronto has the ability right now. They have the pieces. We prove that we can win a championship. Is Kawhi the X factor that when he goes over there, they're going to be able to do the same thing? We don't know. I don't think Kawhi knows. I don't think anyone knows. The Lakers completely stripped their team down to get Anthony Davis. If there's an injury, it's got to be in the back of Kawhi's head. What happens if LeBron gets injured? What happens if AD gets his regular season, like his classic regular season injury? He's always out for 20 games or so during the season. And who's going to carry the load, right? They don't have anyone. It's going to be a superstar stacked team. And if somebody gets hurt, you look at the Golden State Warriors in playoffs this year. Kevin Durant goes down. Klay Thompson gets a little bit wobbled. He had his ACL injury. But he did miss a couple games before that. He missed a game, I believe, in game 3, was it? And so you look at a team like that, when they're so top-heavy, somebody goes down, what are you going to do? You got no one there to back them up. And for a team like the Toronto Raptors, it's that next man up mentality, Van Vliet Lowry goes down, you got Van Vliet to back him up. Kawhi goes down, you got OG Anunoby, who is unfortunately hurt. But the scoring load, Pascal Siakam steps up big time on the scoring. And Marcus Gasol goes down, Ibaka steps up. You got so many guys on the Toronto Raptors that can step up for you if somebody goes down. And I don't think they have that for the Lakers. So at the end of the day, it's a lot of question marks for those two teams, I think, for Kawhi, if you were to head over there. And for the Toronto Raptors, Masai Ujiri said it best at the start of the season. Everyone was asking him how he's going to convince Kawhi to stay. How are you going to do it? What are you going to say to him? What are you going to do? Are you going to do anything different? And Masai Ujiri, always same answer every time, said, we're going to be ourselves. We're going to be the organization that we are. We're going to continue business as usual. We made this trade. We believe in Kawhi. We believe that our organization does things the right way, and that Kawhi Leonard will want to stay once he sees how we operate. And that's what we're banking on. The only thing that we don't have going for us is we're not Los Angeles. And unfortunately, that's where Kawhi Leonard grew up. So that's really the only negative we got going for us. Everything else, we did everything we possibly could, keeping them healthy, putting the bodies around them, just instilling confidence that this can continually be a championship team, especially if he stays. But that's all I really got. I could ramble on for days about Kawhi Leonard. He means so much to the Toronto Raptors. I hope he stays there. I really do hope, and I think he will. So we got all the other big free agents who moved around. And hopefully this guy stays, you got KD coming over to the East, Kyrie Irving coming over. He was staying in Boston, but they're loading up on that Brooklyn team. Philadelphia looks even more deadly this year. They got rid of Jimmy Butler, but they got a nice piece from Miami and Josh Richardson. They picked up Al Horford from Boston. So it's going to be a competitive East. I think the East got better. Kawhi Leonard, I want to see him do something great this season with the Toronto Raptors. So that's all I really got on Kawhi Leonard. All we really got to do now is wait and see where he ends up. Once he ends up where he does, I'll be back with the full breakdown, whether he ends up with the Lakers or Clippers or comes back to Toronto, the implications on the league, the implications for Toronto. The Lakers are going to be a fun team to watch this season. And I'll be back with a full breakdown on what it means for the league and on when Kawhi goes. I'm expecting the Sportsnet notification to pop through my phone at any moment. So when that happens, I'll keep you guys updated. And thanks for tuning in. Go ahead, leave a like, drop a comment down below, hit that subscribe button for more juicy takes going forward and some analysis of big news headlines going in through sports world. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.